Shabbat shalom. Elijah Rock, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock, shout, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah, Ezekiel said he saw him wheeling in the middle of a wheel. John talked about him in the book of the seven seals. Some say the rose of Sharon, others say the Prince of Peace. I can tell this whole world has been a rock and shelter for me. Hallelujah.
Higher and higher, higher and higher, higher and higher and higher, higher and higher, higher and higher, higher and higher.
Elijah Rock, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock, shout, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Satan's a liar. If you don't mind, he'll conjure you. If I Elijah Rock, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah, Elijah, Ezekiel said he saw him wheeled in the middle of a wheel. John talked about him in the book of the seven seals. Some say the rose of Sharon, others say the Prince of Peace. But I can tell this whole world has been a rock and a shelter for me. Higher and higher, higher and higher, higher and higher and higher, 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 higher and higher, higher and higher.
I'm gonna take it higher to this Elijah Rock.
Put you in a Vulcan death grip, just like I'm Spock. I'm giving a peace sign, you see it in the third eye. Open to decalcify the pineal. I recognize the ID of our identity. What's the identification of your entity? See, I'm putting them all to rest, throw them to the coroner. If you can't share the rest, might as well sit in the corner. I'ma let it out and I'ma let you shout. I'ma let you express what's inside and let it all out. Say what's it all about? Yes, Kabbalah, Shabbat, here we are. Open temple, you see, I'm not bracing Poe to Farah. I take the part too far, I take the pedal black. I put it and I paint it, then I'm bound to take it back. It's just an act, you see, we landed upon this rock to make our impact. And now we're making laughs like rock. Yes, it's just another sort of matter. Put your hands, it's just a click clatter. Oh, the heels, I ain't talking chatter. You know we're coming batter or batter up. Oh, I'm saying here we are. We're at the table Shabbat. Everybody is a star. See the true divine inside the light. The spirit is calling. If you got the ears to hear it right. Higher and higher, higher and higher, higher and higher and higher, higher and higher, higher and
Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock, Elijah Rock, Elijah Rock, shout, shout, Elijah Rock, coming up, Lord, Elijah Rock, shout, 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 Elijah Rock, coming up, Lord, Satan is a liar and a conjurer too. If you don't mind out, he'll come to you. If I could, I surely would stand on the rock when Moses stood. Elijah Rock, shout, shout, shout. Elijah Rock, coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock, shout, shout, shout. Elijah Rock, coming up, Lord. Elijah. Elijah Rock, shout, shout, Elijah Rock, coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock, shout, 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 Elijah.
All right, everyone, we're going to stand up. We're going to stretch. We're going to get our bodies alive and get our wings moving. We're going to take our arms. Everyone come around to hold our body next to us.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Shalom. מלאכי עליון ממלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ברוכים לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא פתחו לי לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא פתחו לי לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא פתחו לי לשלום מלאכי השלום Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Amlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Sitchem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Amlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Sitchem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Yalla la yalla la 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 yalla la 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 yalla la la yalla yalla la yalla la yalla la 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 Malachem shalom Malachem shalom Malachem Elyon Sitchem shalom Malachem shalom
Shalom. Woo! You got some energy going here. Oh, and here are my littles. Hi, Goldalev. Shabbat Shalom. You want to light Shabbat candles? So 4 years ago at third Friday, January 2016, I was 9 months pregnant with Golda. And we really kind of came out as a community. That's where it all started 4 years ago. So this is how much we've grown. And I want to honor that there are some people in this room about to start that journey. Alex and Ryan, I know he's somewhere. Just so many blessings. There are people in this room who come from Rome. I would love that, Golda Lev, but then what would all of them do? Do we have June or Joel or someone else that could go with you? We have some friends that could go with you, okay? You want to say Shabbat Shalom? No. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, there's Natalie. I love you. So we have people from Paris and Rome and people that just got back from Morocco and Spain and people from like all over coming here. And I want to know, is anyone here for a first time? Woo! Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to have a... That's incredible. Well, anyone never gone to Jewish services before? First time ever? Shabbat services, first time ever? I love saying this. They're all just like this. This is actually like totally exactly what Judaism is. L'chaim. These aren't supposed to happen anymore, these plastic bottles, but I'm on antibiotics, so you'll have to bear with me tonight. Okay, I am not contagious. I'm on antibiotic. So we had such a high with our Shalom Aleichem. It's welcoming those angels, whatever metaphorically angels are. If we're welcoming angels to give us clarity, or welcoming angels to give us a life mate, or welcoming angels to open our closed hearts, or perhaps to connect our fractured hearts. Whatever metaphor for angels we have, let us welcome them in, and let us also welcome in lighting Shabbat candles. So if it's anyone's minhag to light candles, please come on up. Let's light it together. And I'd also tonight just like to really invoke the presence of someone who might have imprinted on us what this Shabbat thing is. And to just invite those of us that want to, please rise and come on up, and we can light the candles, and let's name those men and women who might have come before us, not in a Kaddish sort of way, but in a thank you for teaching me about the Jew sort of way. Because, again, these lights, no one's coming up? At least Pamela, you come on up, right? We're going to get all the cream rinse out of our hair. Pamela, with your aunt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Thank you all so much. Is there someone that we're remembering? I always, when I light my Shabbos candles, I remember Henriette Schmeidler, Zikrona Livracha, who was the first person that really helped me know that I had a Jewish identity. Is there anyone that you're kind of bringing forward? Yeah, your mom gave you. Anyone remember bringing forward? Who? Yeah? Pops, who gave you your Jewish spirit? Yeah. Your uncle. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. All right, so anyone who brought us to that place, we're just going to remember Joey right now because we're going to remember him a lot tonight. Yeah, so I'm just going to say, Shabbat Shalom, Joey. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, Shabbat Shalom. Find someone to hug and say Shabbat Shalom. Triple threat. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. It's a place of love. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, at Open Temple, we have a tradition where we move from this apparently random kind of, chaos of human beings and hearts thumping and blood pulsating through our veins into like a cohesive organism, a constellation, a kehila kadosha. Look at that love. I mean, it's beautiful. So we have to transform ourselves from a room of strangers into a room of friends, a room of fellows. Ve'ahavta l're'echa kamocha. We're told that's the essential, Leviticus 19:18. It's the essential teaching of Torah. Love another as ourselves. So if we're sitting next to someone we don't know, let's introduce ourselves and again become a Kehila Kadosha, a holy community. So please go ahead. Play some Jewish geography. This is so pretty. Shabbat Shalom. Beck and Kathy. Shabbat Shalom. Chill. Hi, Drew. So good to see you. Shabbat Shalom. All right, and I neglected to say the other thing. My children are downstairs, but let's also add, if our children are here, let's bless them. And the bracha is right here. And if our children aren't here, let's ask one another for a blessing. Like, what blessing would you like? Like, I was going to say something like, may the blessing of Zach Lodmer never again wearing sleeves. That could be a blessing. That would be fantastic. Amen, right? That's a blessing. Now, whatever blessing we're looking for, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to harass you. That was so beautifully and so wrong. Hashtag me too. Sorry. Hi, I want to bless you. I should turn it off, right? Everyone's listening. Just bless one another. Anyone get a good blessing? We're all good? It's all good. It's good. We got blessings. Fantastic. Okay. So, we're good. Before we go, one more thing. I just want to ask one question. It's the month of Tevet. We're in waning Tevet. It's a month that Hanukkah comes in because we're sitting in the darkness. And one thing, I don't know if anyone else felt it, but I felt very much so like there was a grave darkness around Hanukkah time and preceding it. And I didn't quite know what to do with it. And I also want to apologize because I felt and one should never apologize, but I did feel very off in December Shabbat. And I just wanted to name that because I felt such an overwhelming presence of darkness. And I had a dark moment of the soul. And it's an interesting thing to be a spiritual leader when one is feeling funky. And so I wanted to name that because I think it's really interesting. And so I decided that I would convert the darkness into a curiosity of what was going on. And I hate to do a fashion draw attention to, so I decided that tonight, and I decided this actually when I just went into my closet to get dressed, but it really represents exactly how I'm feeling. I am wearing gingham red, white, and blue. I am wearing a Wrangler vest. I'm wearing my Dark Martin Power to the Peace military boots. Turn your swords into plowshares. Take that, Isaiah. And then I am wearing my Beatles Help socks. And the metaphor is obvious. That America needs some help. And I'm not going to give out kisses yet. I will eventually, but I'm going to let him speak. Go ahead, Spence. Lights down low. Thanks, Marissa.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around.
Those are the eyes of a prophet.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
This is a CBS News special report.
Remember these?
Dan Rather reporting for CBS News from New York. The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. was shot to death by an assassin late today as he stood on a balcony in Memphis, Tennessee. Dr. King had planned to lead another civil rights march in Memphis next Monday. We got the latest on the story now from Russ Hodge, news director of WREC-TV.
Take it forward, Spence. And let us notice Hebrew, Arabic, English. Isn't this the way the world should be? Amen. Let's get some lights back, Marissa. Thank you. This is a street in Israel. Israel is filled with famous people's names on streets. And, in America, every city has a Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. But to go to Israel and see the solidarity of the dream, a place that was built upon the dreams of human rights, and to see kind of the integration, the braiding of this leader, is the true heart of Israel. And I want to state that. It is the true heart of Israel. Tonight we're here because we need to find an authentic utterance in our hearts. We need to fine-tune our bodies and our beings to be able to receive these vibrations, these words, these calls that exist. Shabbat is a time where we say stop the world, and it's freilich and it's lovely and it's happy, and it also has to serve a purpose. Shabbat without some sort of imperative behind it is really just a vacuum or a nap. And so we're given a Siddur, a prayer book, and the prayer book brings us through this incredible mental calisthenic that becomes a spiritual calisthenic. And tonight we're going to play with the modality of the Siddur, the prayer book, and we're going to convert the words of the prayer book into the vibrations of inspiration for us, all of us, to be able to receive authentic utterances from beyond. That may sound esoteric. I'm not trying to be esoteric. I'm saying that there's something that needs to shift. There's something happening here. What it is, I'm not exactly clear. But it's a little funky. And it's upon us. Most of us, as I always say, are not meant to be this guy. Most of us lead our little lives. But each and every one of us here has a call. And what I said about seeing MLK's eyes, those are the eyes of a prophet. The rabbis teach us that prophecy ended sometime after the loss of the first temple. And what I would like to think is, no, it hasn't. Our ability to receive it has. We'll move forward. Let's read together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Bam! All right, so at Open Temple we start sometimes learning some Torah, and that's what we're doing tonight. And the idea of the Torah is for us to begin having a curiosity of nevuah. Anyone for the candy? What's nevuah? Who said that? You get it. Hebrew. Rena. There you go. Right? So this is Nevuah Shabbat. Rena, I heard you say it. There you go. A little kiss. There you go. All right, so Nevuah. We're looking at Nevuah. So where are we in the Torah this week? Dun, 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 dun. Where are we? Who said that over there? Should I just pour the cat? Oh, Cheryl. There you go. All right. So, right. So we're in Shemot. And Shemot is really interesting. This is a little drush I have. It goes like Bereshit in the beginning, right? But what do we say? It is Bereshit. That book is
It's the book of Bereshit, Genesis. Who said that? Okay, you got it. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, and then we get to Shemot, which is Exodus, but it translates into names, right? So in the beginning, names. Then we get to, what's the third book? Leviticus, which is in Hebrew. Vayikra. You guys are all over there. All my education. Sorry, I just almost knocked you in the head. Welcome to Open Temple. I'm sorry. You just get one for like missing that. Did I like? I'm so sorry. Here you go. You're right. You're like, stop throwing kisses at me. So sorry. All right. So right, we get to Vayikra, which is, and he called, or something called, and then the fourth book is. No, you're almost there. It's what? Numbers. You got it. Which is in Hebrew. Bamidbar, right? Bamidbar, you can get that because you do. And it's Bamidbar, and in Bamidbar, we say it's numbers, but actually it's really interesting because the word is not numbers. The word has word in it. It's either like, in the wilderness, or it's Bamidbar, like in and out of the word. So it's a really kind of weird thing that we call it numbers, but hey, the Septuagint, it's Greek to me. Then the final book, someone said it over here, Deuteronomy, right? Deuteronomy. Yep, say it twice because it means repetition of the law in Greek. But in Hebrew, it's devarim, words, right? So we get this Torah that's like in the beginning, some sort of Shemot, some sort of name, some sort of Hashem, I don't know, called Vayikra, Bamidbar, Bamadavar, in and out of the word, or in the wilderness, in the existential place of solitude. Can we have a little? That's okay. We're good. Yeah. So he called out so in the beginning, something called in the wilderness. Devarim, words, right? In the beginning, something called in the wilderness, words. Whew. That's Judaism. That's it. So how can we receive the words? That's why we're here tonight. And what are words? Words are sound waves that humans make, right? And a sound wave, we're told, once it leaves us, just goes out forever. That's why the concept of Lashon Hara, like the Chafetz Chaim wrote a great pamphlet on Lashon Hara, which is guarding your tongue. Because when you use your tongue wrongly, it never ends. You never take it back. We'll talk about that another time. Not the theme of tonight, but important. So let's take a look at this Torah. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask everyone to have a Havruta and to spend, I'm going to put on a little, we're going to spend a minute or two. And you guys read it. You can read it with one another. And I want you to what's the essential teaching of what's going on here? So that's what we're looking at. And the idea is when we go on our prayer journey, when we start spinning in prayer tonight, we have a place that we're going towards. The other reason why we're going to do it this way is I'm going to turn on the air conditioning. Sorry, Joel. So let's go. Find a Havruta, someone you're sitting next to. Read either the Hebrew or the English. I'm going to come back and pull something out, but just start and say, in what ways is this fine-tuning my ability to receive? That's my question. All right. Read with someone. How are you? I love you. So good to see you. Yeah, there's a seat over there. I know. So good to see you. Okay, where's it's over here somewhere. Oh, here it is. This text is totally it. This is totally it. It's everything. Did anyone get through it? Anyone get through a little bit of it? Okay, so let's set the scene. Where are we? So someone said Egypt. Someone said Sinai. Who said Sinai? Okay, you got it, my love. Yes. So it says Horeb. Horeb is another word for Sinai. So we're in Sinai, which I always love to remind people is like a rogue peninsula in the Middle East that has drug trafficking and ammunition trafficking, and it is just not a safe place to travel. When I was in my 20s, I spent a month there with a Bedouin walking around. I wanted to wander in the desert. It was pretty cool. But we'll talk about that another time. But the point is, there it is. It's like a bunch of rocks were thrown down by God in the middle of nowhere. That's the Sinai. So, whatever that means. So, there is our character. Who's our hero? Moses. And what is he doing? like my father-in-law, he was working for his father-in-law, right? So he's working for his father-in-law, and what was his father-in-law? He got attracted to a woman who was the daughter of he was a priest or some sort of shaman or some sort of leader of the ancient world who had a lot of leadership skills, and he came to this place. What was it? It says Horeb, right? And it's the mountain of God. Okay, so then what happens? Right. So, okay, there's this burning bush. An angel of God appeared to him in the burning bush. Vayar malach Hanunai elav. And this is important. Belabat esh, right? The rabbi, this is called a hapax legomenon. No one knows what that means. Labat esh. It's like on and on. You can try and figure it out. But it's a very kind of ponderous term of labat esh. No one really knows what it is. But it's this idea of this something flame, right? Some of the rabbis talk about the Or HaGanuz, the hidden light of God, but there's this phenomenon. It's actually beautifully captured in the DreamWorks Prince of Egypt. It's gorgeous. They just make it kind of this glowing purple thing. And so it's in the midst of the bush, and it says Vayar, and he saw Vehine, right? This is a big term right here. He saw, and Hine means here's a fact, or whoa, neon, neon, neon. That's that word. So what was it? The neon? Uh-huh. Anyone? Yes? Yes, but what? The big reversal? Right. Einenu uchal. It was not consumed. All right? So what does that mean that there's something that is not burning oxygen, but it's burning? Invincible? Spiritual flame, right? That's beautiful. I love that. I love it. You can't say what it is, but they knew it was like outside of a vocabulary. That's beautiful. Labatesh. That's gorgeous. Thank you. Did you get it? Did you get it? Yeah? You got one? You get two. I like that. It made me really think. There were no words to describe it. Vayomer Moshe, okay. What? Huh? Ineffable. Beautiful, beautiful. That's a great word. Ineffable, ineffable, ineffable. Numinous, ineffable, numinous, ineffable. Okay. We'll go through all of our. All right. So it says, Asurana ve'irei et hamar'e hagadol hazeh, right? I must turn aside. But this word, it repeats. Asura, like it's a samech vav resh. It's a very interesting shoresh about him turning. That word is such an interesting word because it's from a similar bilateral root. It means to turn, but it also means a stubborn anger, which, so you know, was Moses' fatal flaw. So this word, we're going to go into the word tonight, right? So the same word, it shares the root. It's not the same word entirely, but it shares the root. The very thing that he did in the moment he turned, it was his redemption, shares the same root as his transgression. And it's this word that we're kind of dwelling in tonight. But let's keep going because it shows itself again. So I must turn aside. No, go back. I must turn aside and look at this marvelous sight. Why doesn't the burn bush up? He asks it, right? The bush burn up. And then it's Vayar Adonai Kisar, right? And God saw that he, and it just gives us the bilateral root of this word, that he turned, right? But it also, again, this form in a different nekudot, like a different arrangement of vowels, would mean that he saw that he was stubborn. So I'm just playing with the language a little because it's remember his stubbornness that God speaks to him and he strikes the rock twice and ends up not going into the promised land like MLK Jr., but he's at the mountaintop, right? Right? The parallels are extraordinary. Yes? And each and every one of us, our life kind of hinges on our stubbornness or on our ability to turn. My life this week was a great expression of that. And so I'm really fascinated by it, and what I want us to do is kind of play with our sar, you know? With our, it also is a homonym sar for like chief or head of state, right? So it's a really interesting word in Hebrew. You like this, Serena, right? Like it's so interesting, this word, right? So I want us to really play like, are we turning towards our destiny, or are we stubbornly turning our backs to our towards our suffering, right? That's tonight. That's tonight. And so we're going to move forward now. So
We'll read the rest. So God said, don't come close, remove your sandals, for the feet for the place on which you stand is holy ground. And this is, I added it just for a reason, because the first thing in Nevuah, because this is prophecy, right? This is like whatever the God character is speaking to, shalom, y'all, speaking to Moses. And the God character makes really, really clear in the moment he says it. What's this last verse say? What's really clear that the God character wants to say? I love you, Goldilev. Mommy's working. All right. What's the last thing that God really wants Moses to know? Love you so much. Say again. You could say it with. Remember when Harel used to have this moment? I'm sorry, Harel. It's like everything. It's like deja vu. Yes. What? Courage, right? God's saying have courage. And what mnemonic device, what reminder does God give Moses courage? God says very, very sweetly to Moses, hey, dude, who am I? I'm the God of, you can read it, of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look at God, right? So we have this idea that in the moment of prophecy, there's going to be some sort of inclusion of this greater call. It's not just individual. It's tied to something larger. I know, I see that. Lifeline. Anyone? June? No, that's great. Okay, I love you. This is great. All right, let's move forward and read. Okay, that's wonderful. I love you. Okay, let's look forward and read. Okay, we're going to read together. She's going to go. Authentic utterance, that's what we're speaking of. Authentic utterance derives from a moment of identification of a person and a word. Okay, let's go there for a second. To speak authentically, to have an authentic kind of word, that moment where the word and the intention match, it has to come from a moment where you can identify a person and a word. You're really in an understanding of communication. Its significance depends upon the urgency and magnitude of its theme. This is haughty stuff. It's Abraham Joshua Heschel. He's more prosaic than this sometimes, but he's always like, oh, amazing. So it has this urgency and magnitude of its theme. It's big, right? The prophet's theme, here we go, is first of all, the very life of a whole people. Moses has a moment where he's hearing this pure voice of his call, and that moment has a larger call to it for all of the people that he's attached to. Our lives, we have a moment where we can be called to a call, and perhaps it's an ancestral destiny that we are being called to do a tikkun, a healing for. That prophecy exists. They are not one only with what they say. They are involved with their people in what their words foreshadow. When we have a prophetic call, it's attached to something larger, perhaps a hero's journey we're going to take. This is the secret of the prophet's style. Their life and soul are at stake in what they say and in what is going to happen to what they say. So the language matters because the language creates your destiny, right? You ever hear that? Beware of your thoughts because thoughts affect your habits, and your habits affect your language affect character, and your character is your destiny, or yes, you know that? Yes, you all heard that one. I think it attaches that self, but we should not say nevuah or prophecy is something that closed 2,000 years ago or 2,500 years ago. We have to say that our lives are embedded in this practice, and perhaps it is the galut, is the exile of pretending it doesn't exist, that creates this misery in human lives. Redemption, the potential of it is in each and every one of us. We finish. It is an involvement that echoes on, right? What is more, both theme and identification are seen in the three dimensions. Now he's getting really out there, but the three dimensions he's going to define right now. Not only the prophet and the people too, but God itself is involved with what the words convey. So when we speak, it is one voice being heard by other peoples. And within that expression and experience is the presence of godliness, whatever that means to you. We're just saying the power of language to be spoken and to be received creates a greater presence than just two humans having a conversation, right? It has the potential to allow us to transcend. I look at Michelle the playwright, right? You understand that? Yes. That was Elia the poet. Where's Michelle the playwright? Michelle the playwright, Elia the poet, right? We have so many others here as well. Henry the writer. We have so many. When you take the language, it transports us. So that's what we're working on tonight. But we're working also, language begins with a sound, right? So we're going to take it granular to the sound. Let's go forward. Am I too esoteric? It's okay? Okay, cool. Okay. It's like, Esoteric. Esoteric, it means, wait, someone say? Yeah. Yeah, a little. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I'm just giving out kisses because kisses are the universal language, right? Yeah. Yeah. It could be something, right? Abstract or abstruse. Yes. Yes. So, okay, so what we're going to do right now, this is deep. So, I was called in this moment to a Talking Head song. But there's work to be done. Tonight's work, I didn't say it was work because then no one would have come. I just wrote you all an email saying, please, let's do this work together. It's so important. So I want to know, and please, you have soul journals. There's a whole collection of them right there. Soul journals are a beautiful technology we created at Open Temple. They're anonymous journals. So you just write whatever you want and it stays there. I've never opened them. I'm thinking it would be amazing to do it someday, but you just leave them there. And what I'd love for us to do in these soul journals now, or if you're not kind of the writerly type, to just allow it, or if you're Shomer Shabbat, then you're not going to, kind of use the writing. But some of us aren't. So how do we recognize prophecy? That's what we're asking. We're looking at the prophet's language, and we recognized, or we named authentic urgency, that the prophet has an urgency. Can you think of a more urgent time in our lifetimes? Some of us have lived a really long time. Perhaps something's coming around again, right? Yeah. Yeah. Right, false prophets. Oh, it's so frightening, false prophets, right? We'll speak of that as well. You name that, I love that, I give you a kiss. This is a real Hershey's kiss. It's not an imitation one, not a false one. All right, the prophet's theme, the very life of a whole people, right? That's the theme. And then the prophet's style, their life and soul are at stake in what they say and in what is going to happen to what they say. What I'm trying to do is connect us to this journey. Our world really depends on each and every one of us allowing ourselves to turn, right? Who are our prophets? That's something we can write. We can write, what are the patterns, problems, blinders, prejudices, habits that keep me from heeding the call, that keep me from turning towards the other, the voice, the presence, right? Soul journey here. We have a beautiful prayer, Yadid Nefesh. It's a prayer that really asks the presence of this godliness. It's a salve for the heart. It's a salve for the soul. It kind of assuages us and massages us to come to life again, right? A little Yadi Nefesh. And then underneath the Yadi Nefesh is the existential truth that we all ask, are we deserving of the life we really want? Shabbat's a time where we say, yeah, I am. I have the potential, but it's scary. Right? Yeah. Slam it out in a journal. Get soul journaling.
just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather. Beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. But I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Whatever makes you happy, whatever you want, you're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong
The Prophet's Chaim teaches this pearl of life. It is better to be thrown into a fiery furnace than to publicly embarrass another person. I really try not to be political at Open Temple. Truly. But I could not help the Lashon Hara that was going on in my Twitter feed over the past few years. And I don't think it's just one color. I think it's both blue and red. And I found this when I was just searching about MLK and thought, what does it say? Harel, what does it say? Very good. I'm so proud of you that you don't know and you're not going to know for a very long time. It sounds like what? Gobble funk. Right, exactly. Yes, twigs. Yes, yes. It is something like brillig. Yes, indeed. Yes. And slithy toads. Exactly. Or was it snozcumbers? All of that. Yes. Let's keep it under that category of fantasy literature. Thank you. So I think this is real, but I also think it starts with us. And I'm a Creep really came from this idea that we're all just kind of, we're detached, and we're stubborn, and we need to turn. And that's why we're here. We're the ones who come also. We're the ones who are at a Shabbat service on a Friday night. So what I'm wondering is, how are we using our Twitter feeds, and how are we using our social media, and how are we using these things that we carry a little below our nostrils? How are we using all of these mechanisms? I know I've totally missed the mark in so many ways. It's not Yom Kippur, it's Shabbat, but it is Shabbat Nevuah, prophecy, and prophecy has to begin with us and our containers. Let's move forward. So let's read MLK's Brotherhood of Man together, because it's kind of cool, right? Justin, it's kind of cool. Yeah, cool. Thank you. So we're going to read it together. It sounds like this. You'll read it with me? Cool. So I'm convinced that we shall overcome because the arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. And so if we will go out with this faith and with this determination to solve problems, we will bring into being that new day and that new America. When that day comes, the fears of insecurity and the doubts clouding our future will be transformed into radiant confidence, into glowing excitement, to reach creative goals, and into an abiding moral balance where the brotherhood of man will be undergirded by a secure and expanding prosperity for all. Yes, this day will be the day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands all over this nation and sing in the words of the Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Phew. Shabbat bride. The translations tonight are provided to allow us to turn, to allow us to think of the right turning to the left and the left turning to the right, and for us really to hear and see one another, because we're all humans.
Yaminu small tifroti Simcha
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. Come on, y'all know it. There's a man with a gun over there. Yeah. He's telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamborach. Baruch Adonai Leolam Va'ed. It's time to stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. A man with a gun pointed at me. But they say in America that we're free, and yet I can't move, you gotta freeze. I'm looking at Joel Shapiro, I'm on my knees. Thank you to the Electric Lodge co-founder. I'm here and I used to be a rebounder, but I came around and unconditioning myself, realizing in the end I was a magical elf, and I had to take the book of knowledge off the shelf from Emerson and Thoreau, and it was all well. So I went to the wishing well and I made my wishes, and then I got with the beautiful people and gave the kisses. Good God and bliss is all to you. May inside you know your own truth. May you give good and love your family. May you create peace and harmony around me. May the elation and the ecstatic bliss inside of you go and overflow to the kids. Fill your cup up and let it flow over. This is what we do. Yo, rolling Range Rovers, Jews in LA. I know how you play. You see this money game, it's just so lame. I ain't about to greed, you don't see. Because a camera go through the hole of a loop you be. Easier for that to happen, and we go slapping. Yes, he wants to cut me out, but I'm still rapping. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep going too. It's Buffalo Springfield, let's spit the true sense. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. You better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. You better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. You better stop. You better stop now.
Let me give you this. Oh, I'm going to have to, like, take it off me. Here we go. Sorry, Avi. Sorry, Hash. Here we go. Okay, this is all. Here, face everyone. This is Reese. Reese is going to, you can have a seat. You can sit comfortably. Can you sit? Sit, Alex. Thank you. Go. Sit. All right. If someone could close the door, we're going to put in some air here. And thank you so much. Hey, Reese, give it to us. Tell us what's going on.
Okay. In Hebrew school last Sunday, we learned about the importance of social justice and Judaism. As a group, we decided to raise money for the animals in Australia who were dying and suffering because of global warming and the awful brush fires. We sold hot chocolate on Abbott Kenny, and in 30 minutes, we raised $213.
And tonight I want to see whatever we raise, I'll match to get us to 613. I'm just saying. We have a stock box outside. We do. Dishes you made at Creative Torah. Yeah, keep going.
Australia is really special to me because my grandmother was born there. When my great-grandmother was my age, she used to walk to school, and this kangaroo would often hop up and pull her hair. After some research, I found an organization to donate called Wildlife Warriors. It was founded by Steve Iman. They are raising Irwin. They are raising money to expand their hospital to help all the animals injured in the fire. I hope you can help donate.
That was excellent, Reese. And yeah, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. So I neglected to say how we're doing things a little differently. Isn't love beautiful? It's so beautiful. It's like so incredible. Right? Do you see how they like turned to each other? Did you see that turn? There was like, it was that turn, you know, that sar, that like Moses turning. That's what we have to do to receive this presence, right? We're just going to get like, you know, anyone, like people who are running for government, people who like, you know, whatever, or the people that, you know, people that we don't agree with. If we just turn, if we all turned that way with that love, the way that Reese came up and told us about his great-grandma, like it's beautiful, right? We have to turn to these things, turn to one another. We have to turn. And tonight we're doing things differently. So this is the prayer for nature, and Reese was our prayer for nature. It's this idea of MLK creating this imperative towards justice tonight, because the universe bends towards justice. And so Reese is collecting money, Harel, they're collecting money for koala bears and kangaroos and sloths and all sorts of animals that were lost, and some humans too. So if you can give, that's nice, right? That's nice. If you can't, totally cool. But just something to think about. So on the zchut of that beautiful image of turning towards nature, Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aharavim. That is how our Shema V'ertecha, Shema and its prayers, its brachot are happening tonight. So I'm inviting up Jordana and Avi, because as I said, we're doing something differently. And for anyone who wants a siddur, we can provide one, so you can do the Kriyat Shema and its blessings if you want to. But tonight, we're actually taking the essence of Shema. Lishmoa in Hebrew is another great word, because in biblical Hebrew it means you are listening so intently that your body obeys. That's what it means to listen. Lishmoa in Hebrew. Even if you say it, if you really say it, say lishmoa. It's like you're eating it, right? Lishmoa. Like I hear you so much, I'm eating your word and I'm going to digest it, and my body's going to do all sorts of things to respond. It's a great word, lishmoa, right? So we're gonna really get to a place of lishmoa tonight. And the way that we're doing it is we're inviting anyone who's daring and needs a nap to come on down and find a space on the floor. And it's totally cool to stay in your seats as well. And we're gonna begin the process by dropping into our bodies. And we're lucky because we have a superhero with us tonight. Her name is Jordana Ream. I don't know if you know, but she is a superhero. I'm sorry, Jordana, but it's true. And Jordana does amazing things like leads people to Everest on trips, like why not? And does also guided meditations. You have a trip coming up in March or April?
April.
To base camp, right?
Mount
Awesome.
Everest.
Yeah, it's like Sane Everest, right? Like Sane Everest. That's what I like to say. It's a little
Yeah,
insane.
just the base camp, only
Yeah.
18,000
Yeah,
feet.
that's all. That's all. That's all. No big deal.
Yeah, you got this.
Yeah. So Jordana's going to drop us into an embodied experience, and then Avi, Sherbil versus Avi, Sills. Let us not confuse our Avis. My father, my father, my father, my father. So Avi is then going to allow us to go deeper into this space with a sound bath, and that is when we'll be moving from the prayer for love, Ohev Amo Yisrael, into the Shema and the V'ahavta. And just know that those prayers, some of them are going to sonorously visit us, and some of them will just allow to dance through what we know. And Bavakasha.
So go ahead and make yourselves really comfortable. Do any adjusting that you need to do so that you can relax, and so that you can tune in to yourself on this journey, to hear the prayers that are in your own heart. So maybe you'll close your eyes, perhaps becoming aware of your body being supported by the chair, by the earth. And see if you can drop in just a little bit more. Allow yourself to relax and to feel the support that's here. Let's take a deep breath. Breathe in and fill up. Hold this breath and then open your mouth. Let it go slowly. Let's take another like that. Breathe in and fill up. Hold this breath. And then open your mouth. Let it go slowly. Allowing yourself to relax and let go in this experience. As you find your breath, finding where it flows easily and naturally. And as if you could cuddle up in bed with this breath, watch it. Watch this life force move in and out of your body. And as you do, allow it to bring you into this moment fully. Arriving in the here and now with whatever is here. And maybe there are words that are within you that want to be heard. Maybe there's just vibration or vision. Take a moment to listen. And with whatever you are uncovering here, can you open your heart to it? Can you find a place of compassion? And bring your awareness to your heart, to the center of loving awareness and compassion. And as you direct your breath here. You can feel that any love that's here is expanding, can move through you. Can spread across your chest and down to your belly. And it can swirl up to your mind. That it can wrap around your shoulders like a warm blanket. And we listen from this place. What do I need to pay attention to? What are the words? And take a breath in. And take a breath out. And as you're ready, we join together to listen. Shema. Adonai
Okay, Spencer. Okay, Spencer. You got it.
You called me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. There I find you in the mystery,
Stop.
in oceans deep, where faith will stand. And I will call upon your name. Keep my eyes above the waves.
When oceans fall,
My soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours. You are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. My feet may fail and fear surrounds me. You never failed, you won't start now. So I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul rests in your embrace, for I am yours. You are mine. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש. נורא תפילו, עושה פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש. נורא תהילות, עושה פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש. Nora soul will rest in your embrace. I am yours. You are mine.
Ani le dodi, ve dodi li. We're going to take the lights down a little, Marissa. Just take it down a little, get a little dark. Again, what I'm hoping for us to work with is the turning that we do towards our personal revelations, whether it's the epiphany that defines our lives or whether it's a slow turning towards forgiveness, a slow turning towards goal setting, towards self-discipline, whatever it is. And to do it is to enter into a dark space of the soul. And our prayer service every Shabbat includes, and every evening includes, a prayer that is acknowledging the power and the role of darkness in our lives. This prayer, Justin, is called Hashkivenu. And the prayer really asks that through this darkness, we are held, we are kept, as well as redeemed. You could take it down a little lower, Marissa, even. Just give us a little dark time.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu Malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu Malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu Malkeinu lechaim, v'hamidenu Malkeinu lechaim. V'shmot tzidkeinu,
Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let them get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all come around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will say, one day, one day, one day. That's right. One day, one day, one day. It's not about to win or lose, because we all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent, blood-drenched pavement. Keep on moving through the water, stay raging. In this maze you can soul change, treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same song, singing for the freedom like why yo 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 why yo why yo 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 yo. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that they don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day. That's right. One day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. One day, one
Aren't Hebrew prayers awesome? When I daven and I'm going through a siddur, I'm always thinking, how are people experiencing prayer? Sometimes it's like this. Sometimes it's a Mount Tisyahu song or Radiohead. Sometimes it's a sound bath or silence. And sometimes it's just good old traditional davening. If we could do so comfortably, please rise. And as we rise, let's rise to tying our seeking of nevuah, of prophecy, to our ancestral story. The Amidah is our standing prayer. It's a prayer where we attach ourselves to our ancestral system and acknowledge that each and every one of us has a prayer in our heart that can authentically raise through breath out of our mouths and become a truth that can be heard by all. We rise for the Amidah. Eternal One, open my lips so my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Velohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chaste Avot Ve'imot, Umevi Goel Livnei V'nehem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Metim Ata, Rav Lehoshia, Mashif HaRuach Umorit HaGeshem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofe Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lahachayot metim, Baruch ata Adonai, Mechaye hametim. Please continue with the ruminations before you, or the prayers in our hearts, or just listen. I'd like to invite anyone who's in need of a prayer circle. I believe in the power of prayers. I had this incredible experience where I saw a healer, and I had something I needed to get fixed on my body. And I worked with a healer, and they said, okay, energy should move. And the next day, I had this thing on my back. I went home, and I felt like energy moved. And I looked in the mirror, and the thing on my back was still there. So I called a doctor, a nice plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills. And I made an appointment, and a week ago it was taken out. The energy was moved. So I believe in the power of prayer, because it moves energy. So anyone who's in need of moving that energy and turning to a place of healing, please come up so we can give love and support one another. Will you come up and move the bowls back a little? Yes. Will you do that, sweetie? Thank you so much. So I don't want anyone to hurt them. Come on up.
Dear God of our ancestors, help us renew our faith. Grant us a perfect healing
Grant us a perfect healing.
Bring peace to all our days.
Bring peace to all our days. Restore strength of body.
Restore strength of body.
Help clarify our minds.
Help clarify our minds.
Refresh our tired spirit.
Refresh our tired spirits.
Rejuvenate our life.
Rejuvenate our lives. Thank you for all these blessings.
Thank you for all these blessings.
Throughout our days and nights.
Throughout our days and nights.
We celebrate the journey.
We celebrate the journey.
This precious gift of life.
This precious gift of life.
And
let's all take off that spiritual duster and just like dust off our neshamas, our souls, our neshamot. Then let's go to the other person next to us and like help them get the parts they couldn't reach. Dust off your neshamot. You need to dust off the schmutz of your neshamot. All right, great. And if that doesn't work, there's always a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills that can help you out. Beautiful. So I ask for a kiss. It looked different on my computer, but still. What is this? What is that? Purple rain. What? Purple rain? You said, of course, you said that? Mona said that, of course. Exactly, it's purple rain. And I really think that, like, if there was anything, as I prepared for services and was reading and studying, what I thought about is, like, we really need to go purple, which is the color also of queer, which is just so fantastic. But it's like, we need to go purple, you know? I just want to see purple. I want to see more purple. I miss Prince. I want to see purple. And it looks periwinkle, but it's what I thought looked purple. It shows how colors even change in our lives. What, sweetie? If we turn off the lights, what a mind. I love you so much. Oh my God. It looks a little more purple, actually. It's grimace purple. Oh, that's great. Here, you get a kiss for that, Harel. That's what you wanted. That was great. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we got to go purple. That's the idea. We turn to others so we can, like, this is really, it's the Ma'ariv prayers. Ma'ariv is the evening, but evening, it's the mixing. It's the mixing, right? We're mixing. That's the idea of tonight. We mix. It's when the sun sets and dips and becomes darkness. I think that maybe, and then it does the same thing for dawn, and maybe that's the space that we're in as a nation right now. I don't know. I'd like to think that it's not going to darkness, it's going to dawn, so maybe we'll just move on. Please rise if you could do so comfortably for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo hasanu kukiye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, right? Lifnei melech malkei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'nemar v'chaya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo echad. Shoo. Rashmi, we have a great physician here today, a doctor, a scientist, and I would like to invite you up, please. I know your science was inspired by becoming a mother. Will you share your story a little of Sid tonight? Okay. Rashmi, some of you might know Rashmi because she came, we did Cannabis Shabbat. And Rashmi came as our UCLA professor, research scientist, physician, and told us about her story. Please share. Or you have she has a real mic. I'm sorry. There you go. They're killing me because I took this off my face again. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Hush. Okay.
Thank you all and thank you, Rabbi, for giving me the space to share. Nearly 10 years ago,
Please have a seat. Yes.
Nearly 10 years ago, I gave birth to the love and light of my life, my eldest son, Siddharth. His name, Siddharth Sai, means one who accomplishes his goals through patience and faith. And I was pregnant with him during my yoga teacher training. And I had imagined, being a Venice yoga mom, honestly. But life took us a little differently. Sid was born with multiple malformations in his brain, and throughout his life he struggled with epilepsy. His biggest gift was his smile, and he knew how to impart joy, empathy, and compassion with that smile. And he taught me that every day. As Rabbi mentioned, my work is inspired by him. I transitioned to doing more alternative and integrative medicine, using techniques that I used for my son, including cannabis, and have employed empathic energy techniques, my yoga teacher training, etc., in my care for my patients, all inspired by him, and actually inspired also by Rabbi, who, when I first met her, said, "So when's your book coming out?" And actually what my son taught me is the energy and power of empathy. And it's something that we feel in our bodies. It's something that was embodied here today, that I heard when the music was playing, that I see in you and everyone around, and felt my heart open again because I just lost him on the 23rd. And I know now that that's my mission and that's my goal, is to do that in medicine and to show that that energy is something that we feel and we have and that we can push towards for real optimal whole health. And so thank you for inspiring me. And thank you, baby. I miss you so much.
Can we say a prayer?
Yes.
All right. We're going to read. Go forward, Spencer. Come over here. Over here so we can read it. Thank you so much, and you're exquisite, and thank you for wanting to read a prayer, because we're going to read this prayer for you. So I want you to just receive, okay? So I want you to stand here and like open yourself. And before we say the prayer, I just want to, I'm just going to ask people for just to do a silent blessing. Coming forward to Rashmi, just to kind of take a blessing. And for you to receive that. And I really wanted you to listen to this. So I brought this. This is Yehuda Amichai. We read together. May I rest in peace. I, who am still living, say, may I have peace in the rest of my life. I want peace right now while I'm still alive. I don't want to wait like that pious man who wished for one leg of the golden chair of paradise. I want a four-legged chair right here, a plain wooden chair. I want the rest of my peace now. I have lived out my life in wars of every kind, battles within and without, close combat, face to face, the faces always my own, my lover face, my enemy face, wars with the old weapons, sticks and stones, blunt axe words, dull ripping knife, love and hate, wars with newfangled weapons, machine gun, missile, words, landmines exploding, love and hate. I don't want to fulfill my parents' prophecy that life is war. I want peace with all my body and all my soul. Rest me in peace. In this its blessing, memory before blessing. I'm going to get you a seat. Where's your seat? You have a seat? You have a seat? Okay, good. Yehuda Amichai said it should be a chair. Yeah. We're good? Oh, this is yours. That was. So this is a real place. I always say that about Open Temple. We may not do every prayer, but we're radically authentic. So I hope that counts for something. There's also a journey going on right now, and it's Rabbi Hanan, Clyde, Mickey, Sills, all so many. He's beginning the walk home, right? He's walking home. It's Avi's father, and Avi, I wanted you to be able to share a little bit of, I brought the St. Augustine reunion and the actual action from, was it 64 or 66, whenever it was, 64. So I wanted you to share a little bit of that, and I actually brought the letter on the date of, the original letter of the 17 rabbis who went to sit alongside their African-American brothers and sisters. I think this was the only protest where MLK was arrested, I believe, and your father was arrested with him. I'm just going to read one piece from a letter that was documenting that day. It says, we came from different backgrounds and with different degrees of involvement. Some of us had limited experience with the struggle of minority groups to achieve full and equal rights in our widely scattered home communities. Others of us had less direct contact with the under-packed towers of openness and communication, turned on abstract social issues, and then suddenly becoming something personal and immediate. I feel like it was the birth of the Tikkun Olam concept in modern day Judaism, that action and the reflection the rabbis did on it, actually. We shall not forget the people with whom we drove, prayed, marched, slept, ate, demonstrated, and were arrested. How little we know of these people and their struggle. What we've learned has changed us and our attitudes. We are grateful for the rare experience of sharing with this courageous community in their life, their suffering, their effort. We pray that we may remember more sensitive and more alive as a result. And I just want to share with Joel that Rabbi Gene Borowitz, Drusi's dad, was one of those 17 as well. Yeah, and Lynn's here. She knows them too. Yeah, Drusi's dad was there too. So I just want to be able to say that MLK and Heschel and Zalman and Shlomo are like starting to sing. And I hope your father has a grand welcoming. All right. I'd like to invite anyone to who's going to say Kaddish or is in mourning to please come forward. I want to know who we're remembering tonight. If anyone wants to say Kaddish. Who are we saying Kaddish for? Ramdas. Bernie Shapiro. Anyone else? No, we're still alive. Yes. If anyone is under the custom of rising for Kaddish, please rise. It's also okay if your custom is to be seated. Morris Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'yalma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayachon v'yomechon uv'chaye tekol beit Yisrael ba'gala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Olamei Almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitroman V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudasha B'richu Le'ela Mikol Berchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Damiran B'yalma V'imru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'imru Amen. Yes. Thank you, Spencer. We can move on. So, we've got something real happening here. That's what I always say about Open Temple. And thank you so much. And what I was hoping tonight we could achieve is how we have a personal antenna that attracts nevuah, that attracts prophecy. Thank you so much. I give him a chocolate, but then that would be mean to you. So next time, blessings. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. There's something very beautiful happening, and a community is forming, and it's real. And I want to say with like absolute authenticity, incredible things are happening right now. Just to share, we have 70 co-creators, over 70 family units. If anyone is a co-creator, just please raise your hand right now. So this room is filled with people who are supporting the community, and I have such gratitude for you. Our 25 Days of Chrismukkah was a matching grant for $25,000, and we nearly met it, not quite. I didn't push it this year. I just allowed it to be kind of a soft ask, because we're going to do something else this year to do another fundraiser. But it was amazing. Without even really asking, we missed our goal just by like a little under $2,000, which was amazing. So I just want to honor you and say thank you. Thank you for supporting this vision. Thank you for keeping Open Temple an open door for everyone to go on their Jewish soul journey. As I said, when you open the sea door, it really reflects civilizations of millennia. I mean, it represents, it's really a symphony of sounds and times and places. And what we're trying to do here in Venice, California is represented for this time and this place. And this board supports it. And you can see there are some holes. We've had some people leave the board because they were our founding board and they've been on it so long and it was time for them to say, oy vey, I'm done. So I want to know, is this you? Is this you? Our board is going to have amazing support. I tell this intimate group that we are finally having our support to hire an executive director, like a real deal. And we have to, or else we'll just collapse on our own success. So that's requiring more lay leadership. And if anyone's truly interested in getting more involved, I so invite you. It's a great group of people. And Pamela, you're here tonight as board. You want to say hello? Just say hello. Yeah. So they've been working so hard, and thank you so much, because they serve all sorts of roles. Thank you. We move forward. Okay, we also want to thank our funders. They're incredible, and we're going to the Open Door Retreat between now and the next time I see everyone, and Open Door has given us the gift of a $250,000 grant. We are in EMSA. We are exactly in the middle of the grant cycle. It's a 3-year grant, and we're in month 18, and it's incredible the shifts that are happening, and I just want to name that and honor it, and the gratitude that comes with it is enormous. We move forward. We'll make it quick. There's a lot here. Gratitude to our co-creators. You already heard that. Let's keep it moving. Gratitude to our bands. Justin. Mona, I forgot your name tonight, but please introduce the band if you can, Justin. That's great.
Well,
Does anyone
I'm Justin Stein. We have Shira Fox. Yeah. We got Zach Hookfall. Yeah. We got Mona Seda. Okay, that was a new one. Mona Seda. Okay. We got Zach Hookfall.
No, that's Lodmer. I'm Pucktail.
Both are. Both are.
Both
Zach
Zach.
and Zach. Yeah, these guys are great, right? Okay, we've got Aaron Benowitz on guitar. We got Max Wagner and Avi Sills.
And Marissa, thank you for the lights, and of course Spencer. Thank you for being the ubiquitous Spencer, and everyone else who helped our staff. Liz gave notice that she's moving to Ireland. Next month will be her last Shabbat. And Jessica's also moving on, so we're going to have some exciting changes happening. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We're growing. It's not a good thing. It's okay. A lot of young people come through here, and it's been super exciting. Let's move forward. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. Oh my God, like us. And I just say that, use it cautiously, but I encourage it because right now our evaluators are actually looking at all of our metrics. So if they hear me there in the dark, I'm telling them your dirty little secret. So please go on Facebook, like us. If your friends like us, tell them to like us. They're actually looking at these numbers, and they impact the kind of the evaluation that they're giving us. And how many people here actually filled out the survey? I'm just curious. There was a survey that went out. Oh, cool. Okay, people did that. Excellent. Thank you. That was from Open Door. We move forward. Keep going. We are live streaming, so hello to all you people there in the dark. Thank you for being with Open Temple. Come to Venice, California, where the beautiful, crazy people live, and daven like Venice Jews. Yes. Thank you. All right, we move forward. Please take a photo of our upcoming events. We like to be green. So, for example, Save Trees, we have Soul Journey. Okay, this is so cool. We are we have our conversion class, which is an Intro to Judaism class. It's taught by women. It's amazing. They're either PhDs and or rabbis. It's really complex. And it's launching online in like a week from Sunday or 2 weeks from Sunday, something like that. So if anyone wants to take an Intro to Judaism class in your pajamas, I mean, you could be naked in front of that computer. No one would know. It's a Zoom. You could go and talk, and you'd be ahead, and who knows what's going on. You're sitting in a bathtub. Who knows? It's starting, and you can get this great class. We have, I don't know, 6 people, I think, signed up so far, so we have room for others, and it's going to be a really great cohort, and we'll have people for Shabbat who live in town, but some of these people are from far away taking class. So meet people on the East Coast taking Intro to Judaism. It's cool. Moving on. How many people are in the Hebrew School of the Arts? I know that we have, Harel is here. I think we lost Reese. He went home. Henry came through it. Is it a good program? It's pretty good, right? It's a good thing. Yeah, it's awesome. All right. We do fun things like sell hot cocoa. Well, Sasha goes to Isaiah. Shh. There are lots of good Hebrew schools on the west side. All right. But it's awesome. We have like a bunch of bat mitzvahs coming up. Let's go next. All right. Kosher Pickles was last night, but it's the third Thursday every month, and Women's Rosh Chodesh group is monthly. We'll be having a time and a place going out in an email really soon. Go on. And, okay, this is big. Next Friday night, did anyone do Death Over Dinner? You did Death Over Dinner. Okay, great. So this one's important. This is the follow-up to the one we did last year and the one we did 2 years ago. This is everything you want to know about death and really didn't want to ask. It's about healthcare proxies. It's about living wills. It's about all of the things that you want to think of that you don't even know to think of. And we have someone from Hillside coming, not to sell us graves. There is no strings attached at all. It's that they tell us what you need to think about when you're getting ready for death. Kind of intense, right? We keep it light here at Open Temple. So that is that night, and I really encourage people to go. I mean, there are so many things. I'm talking, but I'm going to be at this one. Joel, we need a babysitter because I don't have any of this stuff. I don't even know if I have a will. Do I have a will? I don't. We got to talk. I don't even know. I think I got to do that too. All right, Poetry Shabbat. And now for something different. Elia is going to be involved. Are you here, Barbara? Okay, great. So it's going to be amazing, and we're really writing a new liturgy. That's the objective, is that we're going to workshop the prayer book. And then next month, on the third Friday, we're going to take the prayers and the art that we explore and experiment with. Oh, and I think, Zach, you're going to Zach Pucktelly, you're teaching Divine Rhyme. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we've got like a whole slam going on. It'll be like probably like a 3-hour experience with food and with prayers and with poetry. And anyway, it's going to be awesome. It's at Open Temple House, and we're going to be like walking through different stations. So if you're interested in wrestling a little with prayer, it's then. Keep going. All right, Hebrew School, you know about it. Nonviolent Parenting, Barbara Ollinger is here tonight. A legend in my living room. Amazing parenting guru. I told you about the baby boom that's going on. So you're like going down the chute again. But for those of us who have little older kids, she's incredible. And it's not just for dealing with kids. All right. There's our soul journey. I was redundant. And Dancing with David Dassa. Who did it today? Woo! And you're in the Tuesday night class, right? We've got a great group. There are like, 15 to 20 people who come Tuesday nights and go Israeli dancing. It's really fantastic. So just letting you know about that. Moving on. And Avi, I didn't thank you. Did Jordana, I didn't thank you, or did I thank you? Beautiful. So beautiful, both of you. So beautiful. So Jordana, what do you have coming up? Or like, where do we find you? Okay. Why not? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And Instagram? You have an Instagram? Okay, fine. Is it Jordana Reem or Jordana Love? Jordana is yoga. We need a babysitter. We're going to Everest. And Avi, I know we have a sound bath here coming up on April 18th. So if you like this tonight, we're having a whole Havdalah experience. But Avi, do you have anything else coming? I know you do sound baths regularly in the South Bay. Oh, wow. I know, you've got a new kid. Avi just became a dad. So, Simon Tuff and Mazel Tuff and Mazel Tuff and Simon Tuff and Mazel Tuff and
Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Yehelanu.
All right, that's awesome. Keep it moving. We're almost done. 8th blessing, it's happening. It's out. Look at the website. We're going to be moving to a 2.0 of it next year, but I just wanted you to know you can marry your Jewish friends. And then this is Michelle, this is the big news. Will you speak? Woo! Speak. Yes. What you're... Go. Four stars. 5 stars. I think they had different grading systems. I do. Yes. so good. It's so good. We went to Chicago and saw it. It's amazing. Thank you. We're so excited. Joel's so excited. He's like every day he's like, oh, we got to talk about this. Yeah. And we're going to do Springtime for Hitler's Tasters. Is that what we're going to call it? I think so. I think Max is going to talk about his dad's kind of reviving Hitler for pop culture way before Jojo Rabbit, right? He was way before. And David Suissa is moderating, and we're going to have a talk back after the show, and we're going to do a little fundraising for Open Temple. Sounds good? Sounds good. So that's happening on March 22nd. Save the date. It's during the day, and we're gonna feed you. Get it? Everyone's gonna be like, oh, thanks. Okay. All right, excellent. Moving forward. So Open Temple donations. I was wondering if this worked. That's all. Someone made it for us. I was like, does it work? I just wanted to know. I'm like, does it work? Like, not on the Shabbos. Doesn't work on the Shabbos. Does it work? It works. Oh, that's amazing. You could do this at home. Just kidding. Amazing. We're just trying, our funders, we want to say that we are actively fundraising. Let's move forward. Okay, keeping Open Temple. So now we're going to do Challah and Kiddush. Anyone want to come up and do a little Challah, do a little Kiddush? This is the time. Can someone say a blessing over the wine? We'll do a small one. Challah for Challah. Blessing over the wine. Joel? You could do the Chetzi one. Let's do the short one. Like that. Chatzima. Amen. And, woven by the Open Temple students at Open Temple House and on our loom. Yeah, really. We have a loom. They weave their own tali tote for bat mitzvahs. Yeah, Open Temple. Creative Torah Academy. Yes. They're crocheting kippot next week. How crunchy are we? Take that, Waldorf. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. We're going to have you take a piece, and we're going to have you take a piece, and that's it. Nope, and then it's going to be taken downstairs. Will you do that for me? Yes, you. Thank you. Awesome. Shabbat shalom. Remember, there's a natural mystic in each and every one of us that has the potential for nevuah, for seeing the beyond. That's why we're here tonight. I hope we emerge transformed. Spencer. I love you. So I just state things because when you say...
There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. If you listen carefully now, you will hear. This could be the first clarinet, might as well be the last. Many more will have to suffer, many more will have to die. Don't ask me why. Things are not the way they used to be. Tell no lie. One and all, we get to face reality now. This could be the first trumpet. Questions they all ask. Though many more will have impossible to go living through the past. Don't tell me no lie. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. I won't tell no lie. Adon olam asher malach terem kol yitzir nevra yenasa lechefzo kol azay melech Shimon nikra azay melech Shimon nikra. Don't ask me why. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. Won't tell no lie.
such a natural mystic. Such a natural mystic, such a natural mystic, oh, blowing through the air. Such a natural mystic, blowing through the air. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. Such a natural mystic, blowing through the air. I don't know lamb, I don't know lamb, I don't know lamb, I don't know lamb. Shabbat Shalom.